All right. Shalawam, Yasharala. It's great Millstone, New Orleans. Coming back at you with another pre-camp lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahushua, bahasham.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to the hopeful elect. So we're clearly in the last days. We're in a time when World War III is not a future prophecy. It's upon us. It's in the news. All right, Jake want to play games. Jake want to act like, oh, the Bible's been done away with. That was in the past. But you're living Bible prophecy. It's happening in your face. Right now as we speak, World War III is taking place on the other side of the globe, and it's coming here real soon. So start me off with that Revelation 11.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11, in verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Right, the third woe cometh quickly. The word woe in the Bible means destruction, desolation, calamity. The third great calamity is happening right now. This was written 2,000 years ago, and it says it's coming quickly. It's coming right now, man. This is an article from the day that, matter of fact, let's go into it.
This is from the RT News. It says video shows American-made Bradleys and German-made Leopard tanks destroyed by Russia.
Yeah, and Russia is actually the bear, all right? That's Magog that's helping these smaller nations rise up against the beast,
right?
All right? Esau's imagination, his image, all right, democracy, Western civilization, it's all coming to a violent end. And that starts with Russia completely making a mockery of America and its defense systems, man. This is unprecedented. There was a time growing up where no nation would even dare to speak out against Babylon the Great.
Right.
But now all of them are saying, look, we have weapons too, we have nukes too. All right, your defense mechanisms can't stop you. All right, going back to Jeremiah, your brigadier is not going to be able to prevent these missiles. Keep going.
It says on Friday, Russia's defense ministry released its latest battlefield report in which it claimed that Ukraine had lost up to 1,240 troops and 39 tanks in just 24 hours.
Right, so in one day, 1,200 men were killed and their tanks were destroyed, man. This is World War III action. But the news, especially the news here in America, they're not telling the people that we're at war. All right, if you're backing up a country that's at war with Russia, what is that? That's a proxy war. That's World War III. But these people here walking around like nothing's going on. All right, it's just business as usual. It's another freaked out Saturday. You could just go and just bugged out nigga, man. That's the spirit. The Lord just had a bug out nigga come by. He has no idea what's going on. He could get drafted any moment, man. The draft is coming back, all right? And the beautiful part is you women are going to get drafted too, all right? Y'all wanted equality. Y'all are going to go and die in Ukraine too, all right? This valley, matter of fact, we have Joel.
This Joel chapter 3, verse 2.
Start at 1. Okay,
This Joel chapter 3, verse 1, it says, for behold, in those days and in that time.
Right, in those days and at that time, all right? This is a future prophecy dealing with, as it's going to tell you, the elect of the nation of Israel, the time that we're in, all right, which the Bible is written to us. You people of so-called Negro and Native Indian descent, you're the 12 tribes of Israel. You're Jerusalem, you're Israel, you're Zion. That's who the Bible is written to. So when you see a prophecy dealing with Jerusalem, that's talking to you. It's not talking to these gutter rats, these counterfeits with the Abraham Lincoln hat and the squiggly sideburns. All right, it's talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You're the chosen people. All right, keep going.
It says, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of YAHAWASHI.
Right. So when you look at the 12 tribes of Israel coming back into our heritage and the end of our captivity, that coincides with what? With World War III. That coincides with the troops being gathered in the valley of YAHAWASHI, the so-called Middle East. Now, Obadiah 1 and 15 real quick. It's very important to understand prophecy. Through prophecy, when the elect of the nation of Israel wake up, that coincides with the last days and it coincides with World War III. So when you see World War III and you see Jake waking up, Jake putting off the old man, Jake growing his beard, Jake becoming more manly, Jake calling to mind the blessings and the curses, our true heritage, that comes with what? With mass death. Comes with World War III. All right, you got that
It's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
Right, the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. All right, us waking up coincides with a great judgment that's coming upon all heathen nations. The 17 nations that are outside the covenant, all right, starting with you Edomites, you Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, all right, you Assyrians, you Elamites, so-called Indians. These 17 nations have a great judgment for taking part in our captivity and our destruction. Read that again.
For the day of the Lord is upon all the heathen.
God,
as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Right, as you've done unto the nation of Israel, it's going to be done unto you. All right, you split up our families. You shipped us to this country, to that country, from this plantation and that plantation. That's going to be done to you.
It reads, thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually.
Right, and that starts with World War III. That starts with all these heathen being gathered in the valley of YAHAWASHI. That's the end of this hell, okay? Our people are at the end of our captivity, and you heathen are at the beginning of yours. And you can see it. You can see the curses going from Jacob to Edom, man. You got Edomites paying child support. You got the Edomite woman looking at the Edomite man like he's crazy, like he ain't shit. That's what we've been dealing with, man. But these curses are coming upon it. You can get Deuteronomy 30 and 7 real quick.
It reads,
read on down to 17.
God, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be delivered. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
God, Mount Zion, which in the Hebrew, Zion is to Zion, which means monument. All right, a monument.
Obadiah, 17th verse. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
Right. And again, Zion is a monument. A monument is something you erect to remember something. So the nation of Israel, we're a monument to YAHAWASHI. When the heathen look at us, they're supposed to see the Most High. They're supposed to see the God of Israel. And so us remembering ourselves, repenting, putting off the ways of the world, coming back into our true heritage, that's a monument unto the Lord. And it comes with this.
And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Right, we're going to possess the heathen. We're going to possess all of our enemies, everything that they own, including themselves. We're going to possess them, their daughters, their spices, their herbs, their elements, all right, the gold, you name it, man. All of the minerals. We're going to inherit the earth. And that comes with the destruction of this current world. You can't have the kingdom of heaven coincide with this hellhole that we live in currently, man. This place has to be thoroughly destroyed. It tells you in Peter that it's going to be destroyed with heat. You see, you had another one.
Yeah, that was that kind of passed.
Keep going.
No,
Yeah, you were saying earlier, how Jake is not in the right spirit, but right now it's time for war. The whole earth is in ready for war. With this the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, right? Chapter 3 and verse 8.
Start at 1 and then jump down to 8.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right, there's a time for everything, man. And this is something that completely bugs people out when they read the Bible. They'll say, oh, there's a contradiction in the Bible. It says this, but then it says this. So it's supposed to love, then it's supposed to... Because there's a time and a season for everything. There's a time to embrace, there's a time to refrain from embracing. So the scriptures that deal with embracing, we're not in that time right now, man. That doesn't mean it's a contradiction in the Bible. It just means you're not spiritual. You don't get it. Jump down to 8.
Verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace.
Now, are we in a time of peace? All right, just yesterday you had 1,200 troops get killed and their tanks blown up. Is this a time for us to hug each other and all come together? Hey, brother, I love you, man. Just wanna hug everybody. No, man.
Like that Edomite last week.
Yeah.
Just give me a hug.
Just give me a hug.
Nah,
No, nobody want to hug you Edomites, man. You Edomites need a hug chains, man. You need to be in a warm embrace with steel chains around your ankles, around your wrists, around your neck. All right? You don't need to hug any Israelite after everything you've done. That's the last thing we want to do is hug Edomites. All right? You niggas that are in that spirit of hugging police officers, y'all are done, man. You're about to get killed in mass numbers. Yeah.
Go back to that Joel.
Read, go back to the Joel. Read 2 again.
This book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of YAHAWASHI and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
I will plead for my heritage Israel, my people Israel. All right? That's the Lord's people, the Israelites, not everybody. The Lord's not dealing with everybody. We just read that the Lord is about to judge the heathen nations for what they've done to his people, his heritage. So how's the Lord loving everybody, but he's going to judge the heathen for what they did to his people? That's a contradiction there, all right? There's no contradictions in the Bible. The contradiction is from Christianity, which is not in the Bible, versus what thus saith the Lord. All right, the actual scriptures prescribe the nation of Israel, a remnant of our people, being delivered from a great destruction in World War III, which is the time we're in right now. Clearly, you turn on the news, man, actual news, not this Babylonian propaganda, actual world news, you see that we're in World War III. So what manner of person ought you to be? Oh, God, that's 2 Peter 3. You got it right there.
This is Joel 1:15. Alas, for the day of Yahawah is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. And that's what we going into, the brother going into, man, destruction, World War III. And the day of YAHAWASHI is at hand. You know, we in that time, we ain't not in a time of peace right now. It's not about loving. People fucking out here going to what, head to toe out here, fucking the alphabet crew out there in California fighting. Over in France, they was riding over pensions and shit like that. You know, so ain't nobody fucking in love spirit right now, you know, even though a fucking old ass pedophile touched by a pedophile came up here last week to my hugs and shit. You know, you can keep your hugs, man. You know, everybody's in a war footing right now. The whole world's gearing up for war. You know, they shipping all kind of money and tanks, planes, and all that shit to Ukraine because everybody's in a war spirit except we fucking dumbass Americans, man. You know.
Still holding it, Joel. I don't know. Get the Peter first.
This 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 11. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be? Okay, verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
Right, it's going to come as a thief in the night to these people because they're watching reality TV, they're watching TikTok, and if they're really stupid, they're watching American news. Yeah. So they have no idea what's going on in the world. So the day of the Lord is going to take them as a thief in the night. But we're the children of light, man. We're up that number. We're not going to be caught off guard by the day of the Lord because we're actually looking forward to it. We're preparing our minds, preparing our spirit. We're getting ready for the second coming of our big brother.
It says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Right, and the heavens goes into different rulerships, all right? Esau's rulership is about to be destroyed, man. That's the spirit we're in. We're in the spirit of seeing the downfall of our enemies. We're not in the spirit of trying to make America great again, trying to rebuild the black community, circulate the black dollar, and all of this madness, man. All right? We want our faces on the money, all right? Gold coins with Yasharala on it, man. A Jake with a beard on a gold coin. That's right. The money we're interested in. That's not the goddamn black dollar, all right? You got a damn devil on a piece of paper, but he's still in rulership, but you're circulating the black. That's madness, man. Anyway, keep going.
It says, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Right. All of the works are going to be burnt up. The works doesn't just go into, the buildings, the physical buildings. It goes into the philosophies, the infrastructure of this place, and ultimately the hierarchy that is completely demonic. All right. You got Esau at the top, you got the heathen, and then you got the chosen people, the true rulers of the earth at the bottom. That's the work that's going to be done up, man. All right. Israel's going to be on top again.
It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Right, and holy in the Hebrew is Quadash, which means set apart, completely separate. Your conversation, your behavior should be completely set apart from this world. A Jake should be able to look at you and say, okay, there's something different about this guy. Your friends, your people that knew you in the world, they should see a change in you. And really, you should want that change. You should want to be aligned with the spirit of YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI. You should want to be in an ancient spirit, the spirit of King David, the spirit of our forefathers. You should want to be in the spirit of a nigga, the spirit of Tupac, the spirit of Soldier Slim, all right, the spirit of this world, man. Because as we just read, the works therein are going to be burnt up with fervent heat. So why would you want to be in the spirit of something that's about to be devoured by fire? That's crazy.
Like Uncle always say, you find out the burning matter. You said?
I say either prepare to lose it or prepare to be burnt up with it.
Yeah. We prepared to lose everything for YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI because we know what's promised us. If you have faith in the promises given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're not going to be attached to the things of this world. Because one of the promises is that this world is going to be burnt up with fervent heat. So why would you be attached to something you know is going to be destroyed?
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 12. It says, for who shall say, what hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Or who shall accuse thee for the nations that perish, whom thou hast made?
Yeah, you're going to say the Most High is going off and destroying all these heathen? He made them to be destroyed, man. You know, when Jake is a kid, Jake likes to play with the toys. You have your little army men, and you just kill them, man. You're playing with your toys, and you just have them kill each other. That's what the Lord does, man. He's a man of war. That Exodus.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. Yahawah is his name.
Right, Yahweh is a man of war. So, what are his sons? His sons are warriors. All right, what are the heathen? They're casualties of war.
That's right.
That's the story of the scriptures, man. You look at the Gibeonites, you look at first of all, the Canaanites, we were ordered to just kill them all, man. Just slaughter them. All right, that's in the Bible. That's the God of Israel. He's not the God of everybody coming together, hugging one another.
Amalek.
Yeah, Amalek. Are we supposed to, is that unrighteous? Going back to Romans 9, is it wrong for the Most High to choose who he chooses and the rest of you heathen get put into slavery? No, that's not wrong. That's the Lord's creation. Okay?
Contrary to popular belief, what the world don't understand is that the Lord is a separatist, man.
Yeah.
All right, when you look in the book of Leviticus and our different chapters of the prophets, man, the Lord separated everybody. When you go to Deuteronomy 32, when you look into the Bible, all right, the Lord was never about the nations coming together, man. All right, when you look in Genesis 11, the Lord destroyed the Tower of Babel. All right, the Lord was never one nation under God, man. All right, he have his nation that he loves the most, which is the Israelites, and he have all the other nations that he created to serve, man. All right, the Lord only wanted to separate these nations for his will, man.
Right.
All right, and that's why he do as he will. All right, it says, or who shall come to stand against thee to be revenged for the unrighteous men? It says, for neither is there any God but thou that careth for all, to whom thou mightest show that thy judgment is not unright.
Right. And who's the all, man? The all is the Israelites. All right. When you read a letter that's written to specific people and you see the word all, that's not talking about everybody on the planet. That's talking about all pertaining to who the letter is written to. As the brother said, the Lord is a separatist. Get that Leviticus 20:26.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 26.
Let me get that.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
Which holy means set apart. The holy is the Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That's the one. That's the men that are the men, women, and children that's holy unto the Lord.
That's right.
When you go into the word holy, it just means separate. All right? Go ahead.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
The Lord is separate. All right?
Right.
Meaning there's no other God but God.
That's
Right?
right.
All these other gods are idols, man. The Lord, like, the reason why he say he's holy, because he's set apart from any and everything, man. Go ahead. Even his son. Because everybody say, oh, the Lord, his son is the same. They're not the same, man. Okay, go ahead.
And have severed you from the other people.
When you sever something, you completely cut it off from one side, man.
That's Right.
If you take a bundle or portion of meat and you take a sharp knife and you cut it, at the ends of the meat, it's gonna be on two sides, man.
That's right.
All right. He put his liking that he liked it the best to his right, and everything else was to his left, man. According to the scriptures. Go ahead.
And have severed you from the other people that ye shall be mine.
Right. He severed a particular people from other people, man. Right. But contrary to popular belief, the world believes that the Lord wants everybody to love each other, man. Everybody to be together. That's not the case. You got it, bro.
And that's a beautiful point. World War III is going to make things separate again, man.
Again.
There's going to be a severing. Right now, when you go to the word Babylon, it means confusion. Confusion means with mixture. All right, you have the prefix con, which means together or with, and then you have fusion, which means mixture. So World War III is going to make us separate again. Get Isaiah 34. We're going to get back to that Joel. Matter of fact, get Joel 3 and 9 real quick.
I still got more in here, too, bro.
Come, we'll get it. You can finish that off.
Come on, this Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 14. I'm gonna read the 18. I'm gonna just go through it. It says, neither shall king or tyrant, this Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 14, be able to set his face against thee for any whom thou hast punished. Okay, come. So a king or a tyrant can't basically look at the Lord and ask the Lord, like, what you doing punishing these men or this nation or whatnot? It don't matter, because a king would be him that have what? He's full of power, right? In his stead or whatever, right? So he can't put his face against the Lord and ask the Lord, like, why you punish this or why you did that? It says, for as much then as thou art righteous thyself, thou orderest all things righteously, man. Thinking it not agreeable with thy power to condemn him that had not deserved to be punished. So can you basically challenge or ask the Lord, why you punish the man that don't deserve to be punished, man? Right? We can't do that. Esdras tried to do it, and he told Esdras, do you love my creation more than me, Esdras? Right? It says,
and these heathen do deserve to be punished.
They do deserve, right?
That's going into Israel, you know, because we were made holy, and then we went off following these idols. But these heathen actually deserve everything that's coming to them for what they did to the Lord's chosen people. All right? They touched the apple of the Lord's eye, man.
Right.
Okay.
For thy power is the beginning of righteousness, and because thou art the Lord of all, it maketh thee to be gracious unto all. So whether it's mercy or whether it's judgment, it's gracious of the Lord. It don't matter if it's a white person so-called, or black person so-called, or a Chinese person so-called. The Lord, any judgment or any mercy you see is gracious to all, man. All right? Which it says, for when men will not believe that thou art full of power, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest, which are the elect, his men. But thou, mastering thy power, judges with equity, and orders us with great favor, for thou mayest use power when thou wilt. You got it.
Yeah. And that's...
It's a lot to unpack.
That's the time we're in right now, because we're in a time where no one knows the power of YAHAWASHI. Everybody's cast the Bible beside them. Everyone's making mockery of the Lord, so they think, all right, but it tells you in Galatians, Yahweh is not mocked. So all of these people that think that they're smarter than the Bible, they're smarter than the men of the Lord, a lot of them are about to die, and the Lord's name is going to be made manifest again, the same way it was in Egypt. All right, you have this idea that the Lord is this friendly white man, or he doesn't exist at all. You're going to find out very soon that he's the God of terrors. That's going to be made manifest, along with the boldness of the elect, as the brother read.
Get that Joel 3. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near.
Right, and these Gentiles are talking about the actual heathen. All right, the different nations that have put their hand on Israel, they have to fight each other now. All right, since they were confederate against us, matter of fact, get that in Psalms 83. Since they were confederate and taking us down, the Lord is going to make them confederate and killing each other, killing themselves, and taking them down, man. And it's only justice. You know?
It says, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right, and that goes into all of their agricultural budgets, the money that they had set aside for building their society, that money has to now go into their defense systems, missile creation, training their military, funding their military. All of the money that's supposed to go into building a society, now put it into war. Take all your money. Read it again.
It says, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right. That's when you go into the ancient world, man. You would have you had that movie 300. It's like, how many soldiers did you bring? What is your profession? Oh, I'm a farmer. What's your profession? Oh, I'm a potter. All right. And Leonidas was like, what's your profession? Spartans. He's like, oh. Yeah. That's right now. These nations, you have a bunch of farmers and teachers and random people that are being made into soldiers. But YAHAWASHI is actual soldiers, starting with the angels. It's going to make a speedy riddance to all of the world's armies. Matter of fact, get that, hold that and get that Isaiah. You still holding it? 34? No, start from the top.
Come. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, and verse 1. Come near, ye nations.
Ye nations, you heathen. Keep going.
To hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it.
Right, so this prophecy is dealing with everybody. All right, not just Israel. You heathen need to listen to this too. Keep going.
Verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
The indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, not just Israel for their transgressions, but also the 17 heathen for what they've done to our people, man. And you can look at our people and see they're destroyed. Why? Because of the foundation of these heathen, setting up these laws, pushing these philosophies, making our people drunk with wine. You have to pay for that. Keep going.
And his fury upon all their armies.
His fury upon all their armies, which is why in Joel is telling you he's gathering them to the valley of YAHAWASHI to destroy them. Keep going.
He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter.
He have delivered them to the slaughter. And we're in that time right now. These nations are being delivered to a great slaughter. You have Edomites in Ukraine killing their soldiers, killing their commanders and their generals. It's like, look, you're trying to march me into a meat grinder, man. There's no way I'm gonna win against Russia. Why are you ordering us to go fight a war we can't win? We're just gonna kill you. That's what's going on right now. The Lord is delivering these heathen armies into a great slaughter. And it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. It's not gonna let up, all right?
Well, even with that, what it says, house divided against itself, how can it stand? So if you got an army and you start killing your generals off, that means it's a total disarray.
Yeah.
You know, they're not even in order. They're in the midst of a war, man.
Yeah, because it's not a real war. People have woken up to the fact that these wars have been set up by these bankers. These aren't real wars. It's not a real threat against so-called democracy. All right. So-called Chinese people aren't trying to come over here and make people communists. All right. Vietnam wasn't about anything. World War I and II, they weren't about anything. And people have woken up to that fact. So a lot of these people that join these armies, they're just going to get a check. All right. I want some VA benefits. I want to travel the world, slam some ski, the Philippines or whatever. They're not actually joining because they're patriotic and they love America so much and apple pie. No one cares about America, man.
Yeah, they're just duped. Like, you got guys that's really like on the police force, you got guys that's in the army. You're really duped into thinking that that's your enemy over there. Yeah. All the while, both sides are being controlled. Yeah. All right, in the bankers, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they came out and said we control both sides. Right. So you duped in believing I'm a patriotic soldier. I'm going to save humanity.
God.
Meanwhile, they got the other asshole over there speaking Ukrainian, believing the same thing. Yeah. But then you got those that's in those positions knowing what it's about too. Yeah. Setting you up on missions to go let's look at the whole landscape of everything. Even with Osama bin Laden, that guy. Every time they go over there, they go do a mission. What happens? They get rid of SEAL Team 6, supposedly. They send you on a one-way mission, man. And it's been like that for decades, years, man. It's sort of one thing about these elite bankers. They tie them loose ends, man. Yeah. They tie the loose ends every time. They get you on a one-way mission. You ain't coming back.
Hey, Saddam Hussein, back in the 80s, was an American ally that they used him to fight against Iran. But then when he wanted to use the euro and gold instead of the dollar, he became the boogeyman, public enemy #1. They just ran roughshod on Iraq and put him to death.
Osama bin Laden, he was
CIA asset.
He was a CIA asset. They called it his agent name was called the base or the system. He was a part of the system as is, man. And really, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna hit you with this. Those guys been dead since '96, man.
those guys been dead. They just using a war on terror to gain access to the oil, man. Right? This shit been going on for years. World War I was to control the economic system. The whole they came up against Tsar Nicholas and all those guys and shit like that. They gained full control of the known world back then, of the known system that was in there back then.
Brought about the League of Nations.
Yeah, the League of Nations, the IMF, all that shit came about. Then you had World War II, was centered around what? The war on drugs, man. The poppy seeds. Vietnam, yeah, what am Vietnam?
World War II was the one set up the dollars, the world reserve currency, to further bring about that NWZ.
Yeah. It's a lot, I misspoke. But the war in Vietnam was set up to set up the war on drugs, man. Right? And these other many wars that you see that's going on with the cartels, there ain't no fucking. The cartels are nothing more than paid off soldiers from the Mexican military that cut off the middleman. All right? They killed all the middlemen.
In Vietnam, they showed you that in that movie American Gangster. What was he doing? They were putting the cocaine and the dope in the coffins of the dead soldiers and shipping it back here. Look up something called the Golden Triangle, which was Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. That was all just a big drug trade to fund black operations by the CIA.
Right. Yeah, even over there in Mexico, all them tunnels and shit been set up, man. You know how much material and machinery you need to put tunnels so the ground don't cave in? This man, you can't go steal a goddamn a pencil out of CVS without them knowing. You tell me you're gonna put some tunnels in here from Mexico and drill them over into the US without them knowing? That's stupid, man.
They're giving Jake 100 years for stealing a shovel.
Yeah, you stupid, man. All right? And like I said, they got real guys that supported that thing that really drive it into duking everybody else thinking they just in the army, man. See the thing about it, if we got brothers that's in the army that can vouch for the same thing. You see, you in the army, you just a pawn working, doing thing. And then it come a time when you get solidified in the army, and guess what? You gotta become a Mason, man. All branches of this shit out here, whether it's a fireman, policeman, higher ranking military motherfuckers in the army. I mean, they become Masons, man. Everybody else is just doing their thing, you know. But end goal is to do what? Bring forth that new world order, man. That's the end goal of all this, man. You got these numbskull Americans thinking that some damn terrorists ran big ass 757 planes in the buildings, which is all bullshit. Huh? Yeah.
So they never found planes.
Yeah. They never found, like, you got so much information out here to where you got firefighters that work. Ground Zero said we never seen a propeller, a fucking engine, nothing. And then what they done, they use something. If you're in construction, they got something called nanomite. Nanomite is a component that burns through metal like fucking butter, man. Like, these buildings are made of constructed high steel beams, man. Beams probably big as this fucking street. This sidewalk. But concrete, you think you could just take an aluminum fucking plane and run into a building and slice through the building like butter? No. That plane would have hit that building and went straight down to the ground, man. It's aluminum.
Skyscrapers are built specifically to withstand plane crashes. That's why they're made like that.
Stupid ass
so,
people, man.
But these people actually believe that jet fuel was hot enough to burn up the plane, but then the passports were in perfect condition.
Perfect condition.
They license shit.
Yeah. But nanomite can burn and through it. This what you got though, man.
It's spent.
They just believe anything they tell them. Yeah, then you watch the scenes from the World Trade Center. You tell me this big ass building come down in an hour, but the same thing happened 3 or 4 years ago in Russia where a building caught on fire and burned for 3 days. The only thing you see is the exoskeleton of the building. But when you watch the tapes from the World Trade Center, when that building was coming down, you see explosions coming out each floor. That's called controlled demolition, man. Yeah, controlled demolition. And then what? 5 blocks down the street, you had Building 7 come down, man. Yeah, but what? All of a sudden, on a magical day, Larry Silverstein just magically had a toothache that day and ain't go to work. All the gutter rats.
It was called. They called off.
They called off. Everybody else that died in that was Jakes and Edomites and shit, man, and other nations, man. You people stupid.
Jew fluid. You're just going around.
Yeah, bro.
On this particular day.
Yeah.
And they called the war in Iraq as weapons of mass destruction. And then they said, "Oh, my bad, we messed up. Sorry, all you million and something Iraqis that are dead U.S. soldiers. My bad.
My bad.
False information."
Then the shit with Jihad John, they got motherfucking soldier, U.S. soldiers showing you they was going into a studio with a green screen showing you Jihad John doing this, cutting the motherfucking neck off, man. They had so-called rebels of the Taliban showing you they were airdropping. The U.S. planes airdropping. You know how you get a loadout on you get a loadout on Call of Duty. They drop it and boom, open the crank up. It's U.S. guns. The tear gas got made in America on it, man.
Toyotas.
Yeah, stupid shit, man.
I'll give you one. In 03, when we deployed over there, I was in the Marines, and we got the deployment order from President Bush. And we was staged in Kuwait City, and we were there for about maybe 2 months. We was about maybe 2 months, and then we got the order one night about 11 p.m. to midnight that we was going to cross the LOD, which means the line of departure, into Iraq. Start of the war, day 1, and we packed all our shit. Kid you not. When they seen the Marines cross the LOD, they started shooting everything they had at us. I saw tracers rounds. You said red lights going past my face everywhere. You just saw tracers going everywhere. They go crazy.
Well, where they get tracers from?
Where do they get tracers from? But also too, when we staged, the AAVs pulled in, and when it stopped, he said, my lieutenant said, "I want every swinging dick off this motherfucking AAV, and everybody shoots something." And so we got off, and where were we? When the sun came up, we was on an oil field. And so they set a perimeter on the outside of the oil field. Now, if you watch movies, you'll see these big old case bands of like these, like they look like cardboard, but they're not. But they got cages around them.
Yeah.
They set these, they're massive, they're huge, but they got sand inside of them. And they set them inside, they stack them 2 on top of each other.
Yep.
But they do it all around the fucking the FOB, called the Forward Observatory Base, and that's where we were staying at. And the whole thing was to guard the fucking oil field because they found a cache of oil underneath the ground, owned by Saddam Hussein, that he wouldn't give up because he wanted to sell the oil to the U.S.
Yeah.
That was their means of living.
Yeah.
That was how they made money.
So
the U.S. Esau took his troops. And I'll be honest, I was one of them. In 2002, 20 years ago, we went over there and we took their oil. We killed all those people. Didn't deserve it, but I was in a different mindset back then. But killed all those people and we took their oil. And they had nothing to survive. And when people think that every time they see an Arab or one of those third world people come over here, they say that, they're coming to kill Americans. Yeah, well, because we took their shit.
Yeah.
Their means that they had to survive, we stole from them. Now they're begging and pleading on their knees to the white man to give them something. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, I would be over here killing some motherfuckers too. So one night, this happened to me. One night on the roof of a police station, the interpreter, I had a conversation with the interpreter. He says, my friend, do you notice when we go to America and we bomb places? He says, we bomb places where there are we bomb places where there's a high concentration of white people. He said, do you ever notice that? I stood on that roof with my hands between my legs. I'm thinking, I said, oh, shit. You're right. He says, we do that on purpose because black men don't have power to come over here and kill us. Right. He said, I'm sure you was trying to collect a check for your mom, for your family. He said, the white men got the power to come over here and steal our stuff. He said, so that's why we go over there and we kill him. So just to add.
Yeah. On the wall.
Everything you said is correct.
Yeah. On devil, he's been controlling both sides. Even when you go into the Civil War, he controlled both sides, man. That's the thing it's all about. And really this military thing is about lowering the population too. See, the same thing happened. The same shit happened when Pat Tillman went over there. Pat Tillman was an NFL safety for the Arizona Cardinals.
Saw some shit.
Yeah, he was telling his pops what he was seeing. How they were the same account this brother was going into, man, and many more things. Raping women, well, you know, I gotta say, yeah, boys, all that shit, man. And he was telling his pop before he can tell his pop and actually deploy to come. He's gonna come back and do a tell off and go on the ABC, you know, CNNs and shit and say what was going on. What happened? He got killed, but they told his daddy initially it was about the boogeyman, the Taliban people. But when his pops went and did his own, got the body and went did his own research with the autopsy, they found out it was all 5.56 NATO rounds in it, man. 5.56 223 rounds in it, man. You know, like this brother say, what the fuck? The Taliban, they over there got AK-47s cleaning them in the lake with a goddamn shoestring. Where the fuck they get tracer rounds from, man? All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Just to back up what the brother on the other side of the camera was talking about just going over there to defend those oil fields. This is Micah 2 verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence. They covet oil fields and take what that brother just said. Literally went in there and set up shop, and he got the order to kill everything that moves.
The same shit happened to Saddam Hussein. The same shit happened to Muammar Gaddafi. They killed Muammar Gaddafi because they wanted to set up a pipeline in Qatar. He told them, fuck him in the ass, man. No, you can't do that.
They wanted to create that gold back dino.
Yeah, he had free healthcare, education, the whole nine for his people.
Internet.
Yeah. Came over here to the United Nations, sit down and shook that motherfucker's hand. A month later, he was getting drugged out. Oh,
sodomized with the bayonet.
Yeah, sodomized with the bayonet. And then they put that pistol to his head and put him out of his misery, man. It happens all the time. You can't get in bed with this goddamn devil, man. What you about to say?
Yeah, some of these deaths, like what is Saddam Hussein, that should be propaganda, man. Then they say they throw him over the boat, and because of
that was you got the most top, most wanted criminal of all time. You get him in the room, you tell me he in there watching porn with his child and the baby and the woman right there playing Nintendo.
Yeah.
You bust through the door
and get him.
And then we just put his body on. What is it?
We wanted to give him a Islamic burial.
Yeah. And set him all with a candle and some flowers. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take him and put him on display, bring him back to the U.S., man. The courts.
Like Weekend at Bernie's had his body posted up.
Yeah, man. You ain't gonna try to really kill him. You gonna try to bring him back and put him up in the courts where you can have your way with him, man.
Yeah.
But then SEAL Team 6 magically went over there with some
high-tech
Black Hawk that crashed and killed all of them. Matter of fact, Kyle, what his name is? American Slaver?
Yeah. I know Chris Kyle.
Yeah. He come back. Hey, Chris, we need you to look at this POW soldier and mentor him. He go mentor a damn soldier, bring him to the gun range. He turn around and shoots him. Now he go.
It's propaganda. Yeah, it's propaganda.
And Jake thought he had something when Barack Obama got elected. And they had, we getting white man, we getting accepted in the land of our captivity.
Yeah, Barack Hussein Obama was the president of the ferries, the back doors, man. The peanut butter chase.
This one should be dedicated to him.
The reason why a lot of these slur laws is in place right now. A lot of those executive orders came in place with him, man.
Yeah.
He was signing them in and they did it, man. He's signing them in, man. And now they coming to pass.
You see it.
You see it.
It's the alphabet, the new alphabet boys floating every goddamn way. They levitate. Go on the street like that, just levitate, man. Huh? Voguing and glowing. Yeah. This is what's going on, man. And like I say, even that nigga, Even that nigga Michael that he with. That ain't even Michelle, that's Michael, man. That's a damn training, man.
Right.
It's a damn training, man.
He was on Epstein Island a lot.
Yeah, all of them was on that.
Yeah. Jay-Z and the Queen Bee, they were on there.
You niggas know what's really going on around here, man. Some sick, demented, twisted shit going on here, man. In America, man. Under the power of these devils, man. These motherfuckers had these Illuminati parties and shit with these masks. They be getting freaked out.
Epstein had a submarine that came to his island.
Yeah.
And
it was
you
violence.
handling some real business.
That's other business.
Yes.
No, brother.
A private dock with a submarine that goes underneath it.
Yeah. These devils are freaked out, man. Only now that it's coming out. Only now it's coming out through Pizzagate and all this other shit, man. You know? Give me one of them waters, man.
I'm gonna finish this precept and get
I'm gonna say this, man. Any man of the Lord, because they got brothers that watch from the army. You got brothers that came into the truth on the other side of the world watching our videos and the Apostle videos translated in whatever language was over there, man. If you in that shit, get the fuck out of it, man. Get out of the fucking army. Because I'm gonna tell you this, it's a telltale sign. You're gonna fight against the Lord, man. Get out of that shit. What they saying in Vietnam? Go home, white man. This is not. Go home, black man. It's not your war. It's not. It's not, man.
Yeah, this is Micah 2 verse 2. And they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. They oppress a man in a house, even a man in his heritage. Hey, first and foremost, they did that to us, taking our identity. But what? They go up and set up these bases, these garrisons, and oppress that. That land is their heritage. You take that, take their resources, then bring what? Democracy, feminism, and strip whorehouses, casinos, McDonald's, and all that, and turn them into a baby Babylon. But just to back up what you were saying, this is an article that recently came out on theguardian.com, and it says 10% of Americans, like you always say, it's always more.
It's always more.
10% of Americans believe the government, the U.S. government, is run by Satan-worshiping pedophiles.
Which it is.
Exactly.
Way more than that.
Yeah. So we're at a point right now where people are waking up to the truth behind these wars, man. Like the elder was saying, all these people are in bed together. They're all friends. All right, these people that are allegedly enemies, when you see them, they play golf together. Their children go to the same schools. Even generals in opposing armies, they're cool with each other.
They go to Epstein Island together.
Yeah, even before that guy Jihadi John and all the other characters they had over there with ISIS, John McCain was over there with them before them guys were set up. They got pictures of them guys taking pictures together, man. Yeah. It's all the bullshit.
It's all theater. It's all political theater.
Yeah.
To keep the minds of these people dumbed down. All right, but we know the truth because of the scriptures. The scriptures tell you that Esau's behind all this. The scriptures tell you that the Lord is going to be the end of this. All right, it's not going to come through democracy. It's not going to come through us coming together, voting, singing along, holding hands with heathen. It's going to come with great violence, as we read in Peter. All right.
And you got Zelensky was over there in
Another
New
pup
York.
that freaked out.
He was in New York, freaked out, man.
Back in the 90s.
Back in the 90s, man. Over here. Again, it's
He a
propaganda, man.
And today's Zelensky day, he dressed up like he dressed in
Yeah.
drag too, man.
That's right.
And he's a goddamn Hollywood actor, so they tell you what's going on, man.
They hand in hand.
Still.
It's political theater.
I'm gonna tell you something else I just seen too. I'll tell you something I just seen. I believe I saved it. Now, meanwhile, on the news they tell you this full-fledged war going on in Ukraine. And then went up in the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. They got motherfuckers just sitting down at McDonald's eating food. Chilling. All that shit, man, is bullshit, man.
You got your boy, Red Pill coach, Lorenzo Gonzalez. He's still able to do full videos while he's over in the middle of a war zone over there talking about what's going on.
Remember when the shit first get going over there, they were showing you this on violent warfighter jet flying. He's fighting the U.S., he's fighting the Russian troops by himself with the jet. This shit was a video game.
That was all.
Yes.
That was the key, man.
Playing games.
Playing games with you stupid ass people, man.
Playing
A lot of the video was old video, man. You watch that?
Say the planes that you saw flying to the buildings in New York City.
Yeah.
It was a hologram.
Yeah.
Okay, you think that you can't make a hologram look real, but you can. They have a machine.
It was on the helicopter that did this shit. I seen it.
There's a machine that you can call this artillery fire on any location.
Yeah,
And you can do it with a laser.
Yep, you get the laser.
The laser's invisible, man. You can't see it. But you can just you put it on wherever you want the target, the bomb to drop, wherever you want the missile to land. You just lay the laser on top of that, and then the laser coming automatic. It's called laser, and you bam, you blow it up just like that.
Because see, your boy George Bush and his brother-in-law had interest in that building, and then his brother also had interest in it. It was a like a CGI company. Because I still got the video on my hard drive. When you see it's a helicopter that was flying that day before the building got hit, supposedly got hit. The building had one of those on the helicopter got the cameras that turn. You seen the video of the camera. He was out of focus. They were trying to tell him hurry up because this is the time the building's supposed to get hit. He hurried to turn the camera. When he turned it, you seen the company name, same name of the company that George Bush brother-in-law owned on the camera. On the bottom of the what they call this shit? What's the name of the numbers that you got to put on the truck when you drive over the road? What's the name of those numbers?
DOT number.
Like the DOT number. Helicopters have something called the DOT number.
Yeah.
You see the DOT number, you see the name of the company. The name of the company was owned by George Bush's brother-in-law, man. You know? Everybody benefited off that day. That's why I say, it's a video out there it's John D. Rockefeller. He said, "Well, I was 3 buildings over watching people fall out the building and get hit." And that's why I tell you, back then when the apostles first hit the scene, it was I forgot the name of the wine all the time. It was a wine that the elites owned, right? And it had a woman on that. The day of the World Trade Center getting hit, the woman was still on that. The next following day, when the woman was when everything dust smoke, the woman was gone off the bottle. It's a particular bottle that the elites own, this particular wine. Showing you this shit was a sacrifice. Then on top of that, you can see the demons coming out of the smoke of that day, you know? That was a sacrifice, man. Remember the so-called van running around? It was a white van going around with some bullshit on it and shit. It was all this bullshit, man. Everybody who was there that worked that day, the people that went in the building died. Everybody that was around there that was walking down the street was smoking dust on them died because that building already was cited for heavy amounts of asbestos and shit, man. Everybody died. Even I heard Apostle Hall talk a couple of years back. He said, "Man, look, I know certain guys still dying behind that shit, man. Still dying.
First responders.
Yeah.
Just covered in soot, man. It's all staged. Ultimately, it's staged by YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and then Satan, and then these elites, these Edomites.
Yes.
But it's just a beginning. It's going to get significantly worse.
It's Psalm 50:83. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
All we do is lie, man. All Esau does is lie. Even when he tells the truth, he's still lying. The man lies when he tells the truth. He'll confess. You'll have a whistleblower to come out and expose something. He's still lying, man. He doesn't know how to speak the truth. And what they call him on that article we read about, Project, you don't have to get it, but Project Zypher, they got people working. They got truthers that telling the truth. Gatekeepers that telling the truth, and he got the niggas that just flat out lying. Like that guy. It's a YouTube page. I don't know if it's still up. It's called We Are Change. That guy sold out, man. That Edomite guy sold out. I used to watch. I used to watch the guy. He Luke. What's his name? I heard his name. Kind of sounds familiar. Yeah. Yeah, your boy Alex Jones. All those dudes set up, man.
Yabo 777.
I believe that him too.
That man sold it out.
Controlled opposition.
Even that guy that was doing the page We Are Changed, I watched him when he was just a fresh YouTuber, all that shit. Then all of a sudden he started doing this on the symbols and signs. The next thing you know, he's popping up on the scene over there. We ain't rioting in that water. Nigga, where you get that media vest from? You know that vest the media run around? Come on, guys, come in the corner. What is gunfire? You know the niggas got the big, you know what I'm talking about? They got the big blue media. Say media. I'm like, where you get that shit from? You just a guy like me. Sold out, man.
Same thing with Anthony Tate. Every video now he's like this. He's just mysteriously holding his hands like come on, man. It's all controlled opposition. What? He's out like Tupac.
He just did an interview with BBC.
Yeah. But of course the elites are against him, but he stays doing interviews with the elite like this.
He got one more strike with the elites. And it's over.
Yeah, them people want you dead, you dead, man. They want you dead, you dead. You would just see, I forgot to put it in there. That plane just came missing. Man, them dudes killing scientists on that plane. That big ass plane just came missing. It was Biden and this other guy. They got rid of him, man. Just get rid of him. Just like real quick, just like it's the plane. Remember, it was 3 planes. It was supposed to be 4 planes for 9/11. One of them went in the field, 2 of them went in the building, and one that came up missing. You can go look this up. They got documents out there showing you that the one plane that went missing ended up in the Ohio airport. And guess what? It's a girl on there say, no, it really was my bad. It really, I believe, it was the plane that came up missing in that field. Notice when you watch the field, you just see a burnt mark. You don't see no plane, no propellers, no wings, and nothing. That plane ended up in Ohio, man, coming in at the Ohio airport. But guess what? One of the girls said that her brother, she had to go view her brother's body, right? Brother's body was somewhat charred and messed up, but he had a bullet in his head, man. Everybody on that plane died from a bullet. That's what these devils do. We tell you all the time. These elites so cold, it can have a building, plane full of 200 people. They want 2 motherfuckers on that day. They'll bring the whole goddamn plane down. Damn, man. The Titanic was a hit job. It's how cold these motherfuckers are. Fuck, man.
The Jewish people, they got off before it sailed off. Man. They got off, and what the rich dude that was on there, you remember his name? Got a rich guy on there.
He tried to stop the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, he tried to stop the Federal,
Yeah, he owned all the wealth and all the mortgage wealth in America. And they try to start a deal with me, didn't want to make no deal with him. What they do? They made this big ass ship called the Titanic, invited them on for all the aristocrats on there, and before the ship get off, he got out of there. That ship was hit with explosives, man. Leviathan was a too.
Sent them in that area.
Yeah.
You got Bitcoin and crypto billionaires and cash out gurus dropping dead, man. You got John F. Kennedy. These people ain't nobody above the means of the elite, man. They want you to touch, you get touched, bro.
It happened.
It happened.
It happened with Lincoln. Kennedy and Lincoln, which I can show you comparisons of Kennedy and Lincoln. You might well say they're the same guy. They came back 45 years later. That's a whole other note. But the thing is, man, when you buck up against the elites, man, they would knock your ass off, man. You know, don't give a damn. And we just skimming the surface. We gotta get out of here a little bit. We're just skimming the surface on this shit, man. We can go deeper. We can go deeper than line up with the scriptures. You might well, I can pull a scripture here and show you even somewhat 9/11's in the scripture, man. This is a 9/11 scripture we used to use.
I said that earlier, Isaiah 30.
Yeah, bring it out.
On the tower.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah 30 and 25.
9/11 scripture.
And there shall be upon every high mountain and upon every high hill rivers and streams of waters in the day of the great slaughter when the towers fall.
When the towers fell, man. And what New York sits on? Rivers and lots of water, right? You got Manhattan. You got the Hudson River. And guess what? That day was a great slaughter that these elites brung in, because on top of that, they did the war on drugs, but then what they started to do, they started to lock you people down with the Patriot Act 1, Patriot Act 2, Patriot Act 3, NDA Act, man. And all you dumbass people been doing is want to go vote, want to go sign off on that. Yes. Stupid. You fucking Americans are you Babylonians are the most dumbest people alive, man. Cause how can we was little kids. I remember the day in middle school watching this shit. You know? Fast forward, how can we it's only through the Lord that we can find this out, man. Other than that, we'd be dumbed down just like the rest of y'all, man. You know, go ahead,
Esau has what he calls problem, reaction, solution.
Bingo.
He has a solution he wants to implement on the people, creates a problem, and he controls the reaction. And then he presents himself as the hero. Oh, look, we saved everybody by passing this bill. The bill's set up to destroy you, man. That's how this man gets down. You can finish that Isaiah 3:34 and I hit the camera.
God, this is the book of Isaiah 34. And yeah, I was on 2. We'll read it again on this.
That
was it. I read 2.
1 or 2 more and we get out of here, man. We go to main.
This Isaiah 34 and verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Right, that's what's going to happen, man. All these nations that came up against Israel, they're going to die. It doesn't matter if you join the military for patriotic reasons or because you've been duped, all right, by these elites, you're going to die, man. Right. And everybody that goes off into the Middle East, you're not coming home, man. That's why the elder said earlier, if you're in the military and you somewhat believe in the truth, you need to get the hell out of that, man. Get into the scriptures and start fasting, start praying to YAHAWASHI for understanding.
If I was you, don't listen to me right now, but if I was you, I would go on my commander's desk and just jump and pour milk on me, on myself, and just get butt-ass naked, man. All right? Go in there with a bow tie on, a gallon of milk, and cowboy boots, man, and your bras. Get your ass out of there, man.
And at this point, it don't matter if you get a dishonorable discharge. Just get out of it. It ain't gonna be jobs to get anyways. The windows are being darkened in America.
Yeah, don't listen to me though, man.
Yeah, do it at your own risk, man.
Go in there and play crazy, man. If you gotta do like King David, you gotta go in there and play crazy, man. Get the hell out of that shit. Yeah.
Common sense, man. Or die in vain. Because you ain't getting it. What you gonna get, an American flag? They're gonna bring American. They ain't even bringing the American flag. Like you say, you getting over there, ain't no casket shit, ain't gonna be no funeral or nothing, man.
Purple heart.
You getting a purple heart.
You're gonna be them people in Ezekiel. The Lord said He's gonna make a new covenant with the birds, the fowls of heaven, and the beasts. Yep. They're gonna drink your blood and eat your flesh, man. Yep. You're gonna just be left over there as dung on the earth, man. One-way trip.
Yeah. One-way trip.
And we know people. I know a dude. Oh, I'm gonna be. What's up, brother? I'm gonna go fly the jet, man. You don't know. You better go fight the angels, man.
Yeah, you gonna battle the angels. Yeah.
You gonna fight the angels, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
Stick all into jets and shit. Sending you pictures with his helmet, like the basketball and shit, man. Like, this nigga stupid, man. Yeah. Jake get into that shit, brother. Yeah. Don't know.
But Jake doing it for, thinking that they actually helping their family in America, but man, you compromise, my man.
There's a lot of like you like this brother here, and there's a lot of brothers that they heard that 9/11 story, that bullshit, and I'm going to go fight, killing you mother took down people. Yeah. I'm gonna say this, man. Jake here in America don't understand. You don't know the law of color. You're not even American. There's really no American citizens, man. All right. You just a part of the corporation. Especially Jake, you don't. Y'all heard Jordan Maxwell about the law of color, man. You're a slave. You're a slave. You're not a part of this shit, man. They just duke you in. You get into jobs. They just use you as a slave that you are, man. All right. This is a corporation. All right.
That's about to be foreclosed. All right.
Yeah.
We're at the end of America's corporation and the beginning of the kingdom of heaven. So, Aparatazah, lesson was edifying. We're about to head to camp and give them hell. All right. So, give all praises, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Microchip.
Double honestly apostles and elders bring Millstone and Shalawam to the hopeful elect. Shalawam.
Shalawam.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Kwame Asherala.
Kwame Asherala.